Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Suvos page 78, which introduces us to a new chapter, which discusses that when a woman receives what's called nichse malug, this is land which she inherited, it's going to depend when she actually received it. If it was before she was engaged, during the engagement, or after she's already been married, if she decides to take that land and to sell it, whether or not it's considered to be a valid sale. And the reason why there is a question is because even though she has this land that's being brought in which she certainly is considered to be the owner of this property, it's said that because of the relationship where the man gives to the wife, one of the things that the woman does is if she has this property, that the husband has rights to be able to eat the peros, the produce or the fruit that comes from this land. And therefore, because of that, it becomes questionable if she actually does sell it, whether or not the husband has a right to get this land back. Again, not that he owns the land, but once he's able to perhaps retrieve this land and to say it was not a valid transaction, now he'll be able to get that which was rightfully his, again, namely the fruits of the land. And we see from here, again, this notion that when it comes to relationships, it's necessary, first of all, that it's not just a person who is on the receiving end and the other person is only taking. It's clear from the Talmud, a healthy relationship is one in which there is this balance, in which it's understood that there are certain things that each of us are bringing to the table and certain contributions that each of us are making in order to be able to have a healthy relationship. And in addition to that, because she sold this, it could potentially cause additional problems, because this man may have been anticipating, upon being engaged and subsequently marrying her, that this was something in which he was going to be relying on financially for himself and for his family. And when she decides to sell this property, even though it clearly was not within the desire of her husband, that could certainly cause undue stress in the relationship. Which therefore we see that even though it's true, maybe she does have certain rights to this land, and maybe also in a marriage or a relationship where I may very well have certain ownership and the person who I'm dating or marrying does not, it's important to be able to have proper communication before you decide to make major purchases or to sell certain things, even though you can say, well, it's mine. I brought it into the marriage, so what right does she have to complain about it? I have every right to do what I want because it's mine. The reality is that even though that may on the surface be true, it still is not a healthy way of conducting oneself in order to be able to have a healthy marriage. It's important to have communication, and certainly when it comes to transactions of a major significance, such as the selling of property, is something that should first be discussed and together to be able to work out so that we understand what's best for both of us.